between XGWBG and Aurora. Yeah, we heard it from Maps there, the coach of XGWBG.
Yes.
He reckons 50-50 after sort of the draft has finished up. Not necessarily the level of confidence maybe you normally expect from the coach in their own draft. Do you think that's understandable? Do you think maybe the Brood Mother kind of caught them off guard and could have a lot of potential here with Kingslayer playing at this game?
Definitely perhaps a little bit, and also I think yesterday maybe put them a bit in like that place where that third game in particular, well, first and third game in particular were pretty rough. They couldn't really do much of anything, so humble, of course, to be, and good to do that as well too, because this is definitely a fast-paced draft, I would say, from Aurora, looking to pressure and kind of take advantage early. However, from XGWBG, this is a pretty phenomenal scaling lineup, and they do have pretty decent high ground defense as long as like the ET and the puck can be remaining to be able to get that spam out and stuff like that. So let's see how it all ends up going down, because there's a lot of really fun stuff kind of to talk about here. Huge Wombo combo, big
really
team
is.
fights coming out, of course, from XGWBG, but then on Aurora, they have like a little bit of ease just to force the fights a bit in the early game with the Primal Split, so should be fun, should be a treat here. And already seeing some early aggressive wards just placed out here from the side of XGWBG to be watching some of these stacks and whatnot that comes up from these storms. And let's see how these lanes do end up going down. Jinkyu getting to play that Monkey King. How many couriers will die?
Let's see XXS try and start the fight off here, standing his ground with the Iron Shell upon him. Jump forward from Jinkyu's looking for Kingslayer, but
Nice jukes.
not going to be able to do anything about the Brood quite yet. Kingslayer's going to be perfectly fine. So this sort of bottom lane, this is a lane in which is the Brood. Could the Brood be a bit vulnerable on the early levels?
No, not with the CM.
He's just
I wouldn't think
perfectly
so. I would imagine that he should be pretty fine. Jinkyu might just do some annoying stuff though,
Sure.
like stealing, like killing couriers constantly, just being really, really pesky. But overall, I would say Kingslayer and Ollie should have a pretty good time as long as they don't make some big mistakes. Level 3, of course, that thing to watch out for the Ion Shells. But from what I've seen, these Broods can just withstand because of that. If you want to get the Insatiable early, they cut the tree. Jinkyu does get the tree cut
He's
immediately.
going to take quite a hit on the way out here. I mean, blood grenade thrown down. They might just get him.
He could just reset. He's all right.
He's able to get around the tree line in time. Go back towards the creek, but indeed, he has to be a bit careful about that. They're prepared for the Monkey King down here, Aurora.
Absolutely. Yeah, one more tree cut and will definitely die. And as those levels build up, there's definitely always kill threat down here from the Brood and the Crystal Maiden. Looking at mid, nice skill matchup, you know, it's going to trade farm. That's going to be between these two. We're going to see those early rotations definitely come into play from these, I mean, potentially 2 to 3 supports. Jinkyu absolutely can match every single one of the rotations of the CM plus the snap. And it looks like Aurora may be taking a page out of the Falcons book a bit, because that is the 2 supports that they also wanted to go for, that extra disable that they can provide at times. So some really good ones to be able to rotate early.
So looking at, I was just having to look up at some of the Kingslayer stats on his Brood.
Sure.
So if the stats to be believed, it indeed looks like he hasn't played any pro games on it. So this should be his first. But pub win rate, pretty good. 44 games, a 63% win rate, which is, yeah, that is not bad by any means. Top lane.
He's going down.
Yeah, first blood, Japs. I'm going to take him out. So I think every reason to believe from the stats that Kingslayer should be able to give us quite a solid Brood performance here.
Yeah, and overall Brood, and in pubs especially, like this hero's a bit weird because sometimes it gets stuck as this like first pick, so it gets super counterpicked in a lot of these drafts and stuff. So that's a pretty good win rate.
It's a good win rate. Yeah, it really is.
And looking at a couple other things, so top we see this very aggressive lane that Aurora's gone for. It is an ET Morphling. The Morph, of course, is quite a weak laner at the start here. The ET definitely going to struggle because these 2 heroes are also incredible versus because they both provide attack speed slow and movement speed slow, which is what you want when you're playing versus this ET right now in the laning phase, since if you move speed slow, it slows his attack speed as well. So some cool stuff. Q did go for the Ricochet, which I think when I see Crit playing the Snapfire in particular when he's playing versus Morph, he usually goes the full bore because you have that like range to try to snipe. Kills. So just small thing to point out, but this overall is the facet that most people are preferring. Either way, should be a difficult lane for Ame up top.
Looking like it, but just 6 CS so far, having the rougher time out of all the cores. He's going to be able to hold this wave.
He'll get 3 CS.
Be able to get the push back in.
Yeah. And let's see bottom. XXS, he has hit level 3. So let's see if they're able to push that small advantage he has right now onto Kingslayer, since he's gone for this quad bracer build, and it looks like he might take the same page out of 33's book that I saw last night. 33 did quad gauntlet, which is standard, with this quick wit, of course, facet, and then he went treads into pipe, which honestly was incredible. It felt like it hit all the timings, it protected his team versus early team fight, and he was very aggressive in lane because he's just punching the enemy core.
Sure. This, of course, is a brilliant game for Pipe.
It is.
Going to do a whole lot against Aurora's sort of early aggression and damage output pretty much pretty much entirely magical outside of what a little Shredder and the Brood. I guess a few right clicks of the primals, but yeah, most of the burst is it's going to be magical.
I mean, Pipe is definitely one of the top items in this patch at the moment. It feels incredible, especially with Rise of Sand in the mid too. It just feels absolutely necessary. Ollie, level 3, Jinkyu only level 1 at the moment. Does have to be a little careful, even though he has level 2 Ion Shot himself.
I mean, that is true. I mean, Ollie's going to run him down a little bit. He's not too afraid of this level 1 Monkey King.
This is a standard Jinkyu. I'm surprised he hasn't actually started going for some of these couriers and stuff like that. We usually see him do that on the Monkey, but so far, a little bit of a calm early start here.
I might get this courier, yeah, he will. So, there we go.
Not careful. That's entirely Kingslayer's fault.
So to be more careful next time after that's happened the once here.
It always happens. At least once in the laning phase, you know, these carry players never careful with their courier. We blame the carries always.
Let's see if there's going to be a chance to go on to Kingslayer, but even with the level 2 on the Monkey King, it could be difficult.
Yeah.
Pretty tanky here with his double bracer out.
They're pinging. They're considering going now. Kingslayer stepped up. Level 4 is hit on the Darkseer.
He's going to be able to lifesteal up a little bit. And he has got Ollie coming over to help out. The Boundless strike down.
A lot of lifesteal.
Continues to stand his ground, and indeed they'll be able to take Jinkyu out. And Kingslayer played that perfectly there around the lifesteal. Knew that he couldn't just run. Had to sort of get some hits traded back to survive off the lifesteal, and he survived.
That was pretty much like both teams trying to capitalize on a level 4. Well, Darkseer trying to capitalize on level 4 time with Vacuum, and Brood hit 4 literally as they went on him. So he got the point in Insatiable Hunger because he was 0-2-1 skill build. So ideal timing for Kingslayer, and he should be able to heal up to full, of course, with his innate now. That Spider is milk under the tower. He's back up to near full HP. Waiting to see the items queued up. I imagine it would be that Orchid since they're playing versus the Puck. We've seen that a couple times now in this Brood. So yeah, it's pretty much instantly queued up. A very good game for it versus both cores, to be honest. Morph and Puck.
Yeah,
it's going to be pretty awesome.
I wonder then, are we going to see the double Orchid? Do you think the Storm's also going to Orchid first, or is he going to need to build something defensive?
Q, they're scared to commit onto him, and for good reason.
I mean, there's a damage that these three can fire back is an incredible amount. XXS has to completely retreat. He's out with the TP.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame Lornoff if he does go for it too, just because it's so good versus both cores. Yeah, sure, they're going to probably itemize versus, like, with the Euls and a Manta, obviously on the Morphling, but that does force them to go for at least that Euls on the Puck, which sometimes isn't really the most favorable for some of these players. So yeah, could definitely see that double Orchid come into play pretty early on. Jabs is going to have an super fast timing on this Vessel as well, versus a Morphling, versus a Darkseer. So timings, definitely for Aurora, are going to be accelerated, at least with these 2 kills at the moment here. But Ame is farming pretty okay up here. 33-7.
He is
not been shut down.
Yeah, considering how the first few waves were looking. He's ended up perfectly fine in the overall state of the safe lane.
Yeah, and now we have like a little bit of lane swappage and people stacking around. Lanes breaking a little bit, making sure they can get these Wisdom Runes. But 23, or whatever, Kingslayer, that does mean he's going to have a very, very good timing on level 6 and could potentially make moves top as well, using those Spiderlings to perhaps try to pressure the Morph and get that Orchid timing very early.
See the outcome of the mid matchup there. Very, very even this game.
Very even.
Between the two of them, Lornoff and XM.
I'm seeing these Pucks just, they abuse this innate so nicely. The Puckish, whatever you want, yeah. It feels super nice when you're able to just double abuse. Like, I think a tower hit hits you, and then the second one, you pop the face shift, so you get double benefit out of the regen that comes out. I'm seeing more and more players abuse it. That's quite fun. It's a lot of healing. Surrounding down bottom, level 5 on Darkseer. So level 3 Ion Shell that they're looking to play around here with the 2 supports. Even rotating the Puck and Ame. The whole squad has arrived.
Another Ame's here. Ollie's going to find him.
Jabs has split.
I mean, Ollie might be the one to die, but indeed backup comes in. Ollie will fall. So what do they want to do with this? They've been caught by the Dream Core, the two of them, but the split is out. Kingslayer still alive. He's holding his ground with the lifesteal. He has the backup of Lornoff. Lornoff comes in with the zip. He's able to take DY down. Got the stun connection onto XXS. Surges back up, but it's immediately taken off. Indeed, nice. Jabs ready for that one. They're going to be able to clean up both of them.
Ambitious dive, I would say, from XGWBG, but an instant TP from Jabs is necessary. The Bruce Blade pretty much used perfectly. That's his Vessel finished up. Super fast to react. Kingslayer able to just withstand versus the damage with the lifesteal.
Yeah, I mean, a few times now they've really tried to put the focus on taking this Brood down in the early game, but Kingslayer, he's been prepared.
Yeah, the team just prepared to rotate really quickly too. Even Lornoff, as you were saying, you know, jumps down bottom. He is able to secure an extra bit of a kill there. All 3 cores looking strong. levels as well on the supports, looking pretty decent. Level 4 on both of them. Same to be said for XGWBG. They're making the move again. Primal Split on cooldown. This time they want to try to get him.
They really want this Spider. But the Boundless into the Primal Spring, this time they should have it.
And Ame gets the last hit, so all important. Accelerate that timing for the Manta as much as possible, because those Orchids and, you know, the Spirit Vessel and stuff are going to be online, so get him some nice early kills. So good move. Really pushing forward. They know no split, no support ultis either, so they can dive forward for that kill.
As we can see here, the record on his morph, not been too amazing, but no reason to not believe that he can do it. Of course, as overall outside this tournament, definitely one of Ame's most played heroes. I mean, you can see it there on the top. Grandmaster tier, of course, on the Morphling.
Yeah, and we, of course, have to start talking about some of these matchups. I know Panel was talking about especially, and we do see it a bit, that Morph versus Broodmother. If the game slows down a lot, Brood is able to get even shard, or Morph gets shard, and they just gets this insatiable hunger. The damage is ridiculous on a Morphling. It's essentially a double damage inside most of these fights when he turns into Brood and pops it. So for Aurora, definitely want to keep getting an advantage and pressing forward that advantage. Don't want to slow down too much versus Ame's Morphling. It's a very strong scaling draft that XGWBG has gone for, especially with the ET able to amp everybody as it goes on. Lorinov, find the top rune, Haste Rune. He's getting closer and closer toward that Orchid.
I think until sort of that's there, unlikely that we'll see Aurora really go for any plays on XGWBG's side of the map.
Maybe play around like a Primal Split or something to pressure perhaps the mid tower, depending on if they see an opportunity, but yeah, definitely difficult to catch some of these other heroes if they don't have it.
Yeah, I think they're happy to sort of just play reactive. Yep. Wait and see what XGWBG do, and then make sure that they have these ults ready to turn up and defend. Midtown starting to get pressured a little bit by XM. Q just sticking around to find his level 6 on the snap.
Yeah, and XXS is doing the exact build. Yep, it's strength, just strength, Treads, Soul Ring, straight into that pipe to be able to have that early timing.
Yeah, that's definitely going to affect Aurora's impact quite a bit, if he's indeed allowed to sit back and farm, which I think by the way that Aurora's playing definitely seems to be the case. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see any sort of pressure on the Darks here, so the pipe will be there in good time.
It will, and that could counteract and protect these guys, you know, versus that Orchid, those Orchids that are going to be coming up pretty early on too, just that extra bit of defensive capability. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if they can sort of get the Sora online and then sort of hold through the mid game, it's reason to believe. I mean, it seems to be there's also the way that they've played with other strategies that they've drafted with XGWBG, where they just want to kind of keep the game going until the point where Ame's able to carry them to victory.
Yeah. Let's be honest, right? Both of these teams, they are some of the slower ones, at least. They like to play for the late game. So.
I think so. And then just sort of the question is going to be, like how do Aurora's core sort of step up to that of XGWBG? And if it does sort of, as the game goes on, go into some sort of like 4 Protect 1 with Ame getting ahead and the other cores falling behind, how strong is the Morph's chance to win this game?
Definitely strong. Especially, I think Morph is one of the conditions that I would say for 4 Protect 1 that can work in a lot. Yeah, I think, you know, I already talk, I'm a hater for TB, so I don't need to say it anymore. But I think also because he has Elder Titan, it's like an amplify. You want these things that amplify your carry a ton in the later stages as well, too. So yeah, definitely feels like if it does get too slow, could be Shimizu's for Aurora. But Aurora's waiting for that timing right now, right? Sure. Once they've got double Orchid,
then they're going to go.
Then they're probably going to look to put that pressure on, take some more of these towers, and occupy the map a little more. I'm waiting to see what Jabs queues up as well too. It could just end up being the Radiance.
I feel like it's not going to be because of the way they want to play. Like, do they want to buy Radiance and also slow things down? Like, sure, it's the safer build, it's the more common build, but we are seeing some Brew stray away from it, and especially when they want to try and play fast.
Yeah.
So I think Jabs is definitely considering, indeed, like, does he want to just stick to the cookie cutter build of the Radiance, or does he want to buy something that's going to enable the team to get ahead and kind of get the game rolling?
I guess, well, yeah, I'm going to see, because I already know that Q, we've seen these Snapfires, they've just go for the mech in most of these situations, so yeah, I'm waiting to see what Jabs is going to fully queue up, if it will be like a pipe, or if it's just going to be the Radiance to get that scaling. We shall see. The game slowed down quite a bit here, 4-2, but there's that first Orchid timing. So I imagine instant smoke, try to find either more for Puck, start getting a bit more going for yourself. XM under the protection of this ward for another 7 seconds or so. Yeah, strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, because it does feel like this one could be a farming one.
For sure, especially if it goes XGWBG's way.
Lorinov.
Lorinov wants to do something. He's going to be able to find the Morph, but indeed the strength has already been built up. He used a lot of mana for that, and the Dream Core's laid down.
Perfectly done.
He's gone. They will lose DY in return, but still, the XGWBG, they do not mind any sort of trade that's even, and any sort of trade where they're taking a call and losing a support. It's good news for them.
They were super prepared for this move. Everybody was just there protecting the Morphling. Ame was shifting back and forth between Agi and Strength, catches it pretty much perfectly. And now, Manta's done. So first Orchid hit, not working. He's going to have a Dispel. Second Orchid is online, but XGWG was super prepared.
Yeah, it's just the fact that both of these Orchids are kind of coming out, say, like, A, when this Manta is finished on Morph, and B, pretty much when the pipe's going to be done. They're very close to having out. Xingqiu, he'll die. Was trying to see if he could mess around with the Wisdom Rune. Wasn't to be the case. All he was able to secure it for himself. But yeah, the question is these Orchids, have these Orchid timings come quick enough, and what can Aurora do with them?
Exactly. And see how much Jabs can force with these Primal Splits, and if he's going to be that, you know, king of teamfight when he shows up, Primal Split that Aurora, that XGWG has to run away, because so far they're getting a lot of farm. Puck, Morph, all 3 cores, getting that itemization. The Witchblade's done on XM. You can go back for the Yules. And yeah, overall, Ame, you can see the positioning that he's playing on the far right with the Manta at the ready, just in case any move does come. So. DY also, do have to highlight, bit of a different type of skill build, but I like that he's gone for this one because he's going to be playing more about that counter initiation. So 3 points in the stomp to be able to set up for his allies to get the follow-up versus the Storm, versus the Brood, versus the Primal. This stomp build is actually quite nice when you're playing versus Brew because, you know, you sit in the back, Brew splits, and you just stomp at least 3 of those Brewlings, and then you're able to reset constantly. So this does feel like XGWBG pretty happy with this tempo.
I think so. You know, looking at Jabs, he has indeed. He's going for the Radiant.
He is going to go for it, right?
He's just sort of stuck in a tough position. It's like, sure, maybe he can get something to fight with the team, but Aurora, they're going to be feeling, yeah, we've got these Orchids, but there's a Manta, there's a Pipe. They're XGWBG, they're set up for these fights. So what do we do? I guess we keep farming and sort of just hope for the best. There seems to sort of be the plan here from Aurora, which does definitely feel like it favors XGWBG's approach to the game.
Agreed. A Pipe finished up now. XGWG, they have pretty much all their key timings that they want here in the early game. They've got that Manta to protect the Morph. They've got good team fight synergy with this Darkseer and looking to find something themselves. Still, you know, the Primal Split is still a bit of an issue in some situations here, but they can kite it, they can reset it, and they can tank through it. Especially with XXS just having so many levels. The levels on the cores are just incredibly high. XM's level 12, level 11 on Darkseer, 12 on the Morph. Level 10 on a couple of these cores on the side of Aurora. And Xingqiu, even though it's been a bit quiet from him, he is progressing slowly but surely toward this Orchid as well, which is going to be phenomenal versus the Storm if he gets it pre-BKB. This is gonna end up being some type of like late game, mid game / late game clashes, and we'll see.
It's because
if Aurora can withstand those.
Yes, because I imagine for Aurora, the next step's going to be let's get the BKBs, and then we'll really try to fight.
Yes,
like it's not going to be get the BKBs and keep hitting creeps because it's just not going to feel good against XGWBG's lineup. So BKBs, they get those on Lorinov and Kingslayer. And then they're going to be looking to fight. They're going to be looking for action.
Yeah, or force a Roshan or something like that, where it forces them to go for a fight or something like that, and you can go for it. But shall see. Tower's getting pressured here from the Spiders. Should get finished off. Kingslayer will be able to get that. And his BKB will come pretty quick. So a double BKB timing, and Radiance, and then I imagine it'll be go time. Jabs. Put your Relic in your bags. So there we go. Thank you, Jabs. We're gonna have to watch him hit creeps for a while.
Oh, mate, it's gonna go straight for the Daedalus.
I love it. I think this. I prefer this one a lot more over that, like the Honda, because you just don't have points in adaptive, as I was mentioning yesterday. So, ton of damage that he can do.
Yeah, and I imagine against the Brood, right? It's pretty easy always to find him and turn into him. Like he's gonna have the freedom to do that every single team fight.
Pretty much, yeah.
And as you say, insatiable hunger, especially when you got the Daedalus as well. Like you're going to have some sort of heavy lockdown on him to stop him from right-clicking, but that's probably kind of the problem with Aurora's draft, right? As long as he's able to keep the Manta cool for something like the Frostbite and the Silences, he's going to be able to attack. He's going to be able to hit you,
I think Jabs is kind of the answer, too, though. He can throw him up in the air, right? Okay. I think that's probably what he's going to have to do in some of these fights once it gets to these later ones with the Insatiable Hunger, but... I
guess that's one thing, though. You can't dispel it, right? No. So you can't take it off with the...
No.
That AoE wind stuff, whatever it is.
But you can just, you hold them up. It's, I mean, the duration is pretty long. Of course, it's like, what, 14 seconds, I believe, when it's maxed or more, so.
Taking the tower. I don't know,
I feel,
It definitely
I'm
feels like we're
worried for
sitting
Aurora.
back.
I gotta be
We're
honest,
sitting
I'm a
back,
little worried.
We're waiting to see what the plan is from Aurora.
Yeah.
'Cause
Maybe
I
it
feel
really
like
is just...
they're getting a bit nervous.
Yeah, it
Maybe
feels
they're
like.
panicking a little, but they're like, well, let's keep hitting creeps, and let's hope something happens eventually.
This is XGWBG's kind of like specialty, is being able to slow the game to 30 minutes. We've seen a lot of their games where they do get kind of smashed in the first 30, and then they win later on like that. So it does feel like the formula fits theirs.
This game, they're not getting smashed in the first 30 even.
I mean,
so,
nothing's happening on. They're all just farming. Kingslayer has BKB. So his BKB is done. How close is Lauren off to his? Getting quite close. And the Radiance is finished up. So, okay. So Radiance, level 12 brew.
BKBs.
Let's see if they do force or if they feel like they can actually just take the scale.
I'm sure you got to smoke up. You got
imagine so.
You got your BKBs, you got your Radiance. You want to smoke up. You don't want to let this Morph sit back and farm.
Because they even have mech timing on Q too, so they do have quite a bit of things going on together for them, but they do just seem a bit afraid to go for it here. All right, let's see. Do they smoke now?
Got one
Nope.
on Ollie.
Wave is pushing in, so maybe after that one, but...
So did the three of them want to go? No.
No.
Okay.
Lornoff's like, I'm so close to BKB.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, yeah, he doesn't. I was assuming
Yeah.
he does, but indeed he doesn't. So yeah, okay. Get the Storm BKB, and they'll go. The stack here.
Yules is finished up. Looks like XGWG going to be the ones to make the first move around this Veil, this pipe. They have a ton of damage, good damage amp as well too.
I think because I feel for them at this point, they're kind of like, well, we're not behind. You guys aren't doing anything,
Yeah.
so well, we'll happily do something. They don't need to involve Arme, of course, for this sort of move. They can absolutely get kills with just the four of them.
Yep, they have Orchid now on Jin Q too. He's been able to just sit back and finish it up with nothing happening. So
Yeah.
this can be quite pesky. You know, of course, there's going to be BKBs from these supports, but Brewmaster does not have a BKB, and the two supports can just get caught from an Orchid. The ultis can just get canceled almost instantly, so...
Well, eyes on King, so it's pretty hard to stop him from getting the BKB off.
I mean, they're going to try to pressure him, though.
Into the vacuum. It's a lot of burst, but indeed the BKB's off, no problem. But
it's a bait, because they didn't use coil. Yep. It's a really good hold there from XM, because now they have the coil for the potential next show of Kingslayer.
Sure. They're just sort of poking, teasing around with them, of course, all while Arme's having a great time farming. Of course, Kingslayer's having a lot of farm upon him as well, but I could only imagine with the drafted approach from Aurora that they probably were hoping that the Brood would be ahead of the Morph, and definitely not level, just at a time as well early as 21 minutes in. And just goes to show how good of a game Arme is having. He's not being pressured at all.
Let's see if they try to sneak the Roche. The only scary thing, of course, is that BKB on cooldown from the Broodmother, so there could be potential that XGWBG does come down here. They're not the healthiest. I do see the ET and MK a little bit low.
It's been scanned, so if they do want to make a move, do something about it, they know that they're going to have to do so soon.
They can scout it with the ET Spirit, so they'll see that it's just getting started. They can delay it pretty nicely.
Goodbye, Spiders. On there.
And they're starting to rotate over now with everybody. And Broods, how's the BKB? What's the cooldown?
The timing?
It's 30 seconds.
Oh, that's a bit scary for Kingslayer.
Definitely. Let's see the angle of approach here from XGWBG. Blink on the puck as well. XM.
And what they're bringing Arme this time, right?
He's got BKB as well.
Oh, he's strong.
This feels like a tough fight. Let's see if Aurora can execute it.
With a jump forward, Norinoff trying to see if we can get the catch return onto XM, but XM is able to jump back with the orb. It's very scary now for Aurora. They've got the three of them still under the cover of the smoke.
Kingslayer has his BKB back up, so he is a bit more survivable, but yeah, playing into this Morph BKB now also, who's level 17 at this point. This does feel scary for Aurora. Kingslayer, there's definitely potential for him getting burst before he can get the BKB off too, as we saw before. If the Morph is there when they get the Boundless and all the combo, he could just pop.
XGWBG, they'll succeed in scaring Aurora away from the Roshan pit for now.
When was the last kill? It was 8 minutes ago on the Monkey King.
I mean, how has the game sort of ended up in this state? Because it feels like, you know, with Aurora, with this draft, you can only imagine they were doing this so they could try and get ahead.
I would think so.
It's not like they fed in the lanes, right? There's only 3 kills on XGWBG. XGWBG weren't killing them during the laning phase. So how has the game ended up in this position for them?
They're just out-economying them on XGWBG. And they countered that one gank that came out, and I guess after that, Aurora's like, okay, we don't want to make a gank anymore because they're ready for it, so.
And like, just like that, I feel like pretty much in that last, what, minute, 2 minutes maybe, you've now got a 2k difference between the 2 carries.
Yeah.
Which wasn't there 2 minutes ago.
No.
Just continuing to show just how much more XGWBG are It feels like they are playing exactly how they planned to play and wanted to
They're gonna
go about
show.
doing this game. And Aurora, they're kind of in recovery mode, trying to work out how to get themselves out of this tough spot.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels like. I mean, Ame's able to just sit back from. He's almost level 18. Brood only level 15. He's starting to get a big level disparity between that as well. He's got level 3 Morph online, so now he's got that, you know, pretty much constant inside the fights. He actually did go for the Agi talent. I mean, that ones I've seen, of course, different choices from the carry players, but he's gonna have Daedalus very soon too. I don't know. I'm definitely worried for Aurora. Unless they can out-execute inside these team fights, but we'll have to see.
He comes out. Can they do anything about XM? They can't. He's able to freely jump out, so it's just another BKB charge forced out that Aurora's having to use. And of course, for them, any time that the BKB is on cooldown, there's going to be no chance they're going to go looking for a fight. So each of these pokes from XGWBG just securing them more and more comfortable time to continue to get the farm on their carry, Ame.
This really does feel like the dream for Ame and XM. All three cores just do feel like they're able to sit back and finish up these items. Shiva's now finished up for XXS on top of everything else.
This is definitely feeling like one of those games as well, where if Ame doesn't get the win here, then you know he's going to have a hard time convincing his team to let him have the Morphling again.
True.
You know what I mean? If you set up this well. Okay, so they were sort of showing elsewhere on the map and trying to go
He's
for Roche.
sneaking it.
Them.
Oh,
Roshan's
he's walking right into them.
Oh,
Kingslayer?
I mean, he
looks very dead. Okay, I was just kidding about I was clever, but clever for the Roche attempt, and then I don't know.
It up. He's sneaking the Roche, but then he wasn't sneaking the Roche, I guess, because Roshan was about to get moving up to the other side of the map.
And now they just get a free one.
I mean, was he just not checking the time? I think they're
guess
panicking.
not.
They're panicking.
I think it looks like they're just crumbling, to be honest. Nothing's happening, and it just feels like it's literally in just the absolute best position for XGWBG to just sit back, farm, chill. Ame completely online with
really
an ET Spirit. He's got auras aplenty.
And he's got no excuse. If this Morph doesn't carry this game to victory, that's a big uh-oh.
Yeah. But
he's in an amazing spot right now.
He definitely looks like he's in perfect form.
I mean, this Morph it should 100% win this game.
Yeah. Oh, 23. That was...
I mean, he didn't even get that close to killing Roche.
No, not even close. Yeah. Hey, it was clever, the attempt kind of trying to go up, but then it's, then it just,
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, fizzles out very quickly.
Well, I mean, they don't really have any heroes on Aurora that can build any sort of crazy comeback item.
No.
Right? They've just kind of all missed their timings, it feels.
I think they've missed their time. They've missed their timing. They're just playing into the timings of XGWBG as they're just sitting back, doing whatever they want. Ame near level 20.
I mean, looking back, who was meant to put the pressure on the Morph? Was it going to just sort of be this world where Ame struggled a bit more in lane, so he didn't get a quick Manta, and these Orchids would have been online before he had that?
Anybody. They're just not doing anything. Maybe they do just feel that pressured because it is a very good counter initiation draft that XGWBG has, and after that first move failed, they're just like, okay, we're scared to do stuff, but literally nothing is happening, and you're playing into a Morph as the game progresses. Jabs.
I mean, is he going to be able to get the split off? There's going to be a lot of damage coming out from Ame.
I don't think so. Even if he gets it off, it's dead.
Yeah. I mean, Loronov's here. He's going to quickly hope that he's not here. Immediate TP retreat from him. Someone was TPing back there. With ET, I wasn't going to be able to catch him. He gets out. But, it's one of those games.
One of those weird games.
For Aurora.
For Aurora, for sure.
They had a plan. It didn't work, and they didn't have a backup plan.
That's a good way to sum it up. That definitely feels like it. And Ame is getting closer to an MKB as well, to just freely farming. The puck didn't die.
I feel like someone's going to get something like a Hex on Aurora. You know, you got to get this. Yeah, but Loronov's queuing up. You've just got to have some sort of item that can punish a mistake or an overextension from the Morphling. If Ame messes up, dives too deep, and catch him with this Hex, then maybe you get sort of... Maybe he doesn't have buyback goal. Maybe you're able to kill him, run down a lane, and take everything from them.
I think they've just missed all timings, everything. I mean, yeah, they can go for that Hex, but even then... I don't know. Ame freely hitting these towers, no fear whatsoever.
That's pretty much got his MKB, right? Just 200 gold. He's got MKB Daedalus.
And level 20.
Minutes in.
He's got the 20 talent as well, too, so just that waveform is just going to be able to smack through people. He's got some extra evasion, too. There's a Bloodthorn on the Brood, but there's just nothing happening. The gold lead just continues to rise. The experience lead continues to rise XGWG, doing whatever they want.
XXS he's just going to get the BKB next. I think at this point, it's getting to the stage where XGWBG, they're pretty much geared up and ready to end.
Yep.
They get the BKB on the Darkseer, they run down a lane with this Daedalus MKB Arme Morph.
They're ready for any fight. They even a Bruce Split is just could potentially just die.
Boundless Strike comes in. Kiss is coming in as well from the side. Arme standing his ground. We'll have to wait for him to the side for now. As Kingslayer's bringing him pretty low, but of course he has got this Aegis Arme, so he doesn't even mind if he goes down to once. And can't even take him down to once. He's still alive. He's shifting into the strength. The Freezing Field comes out. Another Zip Forward from Lorinov. They take the Aegis out of the hands of Arme. Lorinov jumps over towards the puck. Xingqiu's laid down the Wukong's command. The splits there as well. They're trying to look towards the Morphling, but they do not have any sort of damage to take him down a second time. And Xingqiu, he's cleaning up the supports himself.
That's the one fight that Aurora was probably looking for about 15 minutes ago, but now that XGWBG have every single timing and an Aegis, Arme just endures through all of it.
Yeah, that's all they were able to get, that Aegis out of him. I think it was getting pretty close to the Aegis coming to an end anyway, so XGWBG, they do not care about that one bit. We'll see on the replay again, yeah, they had, what, minute and a half left on the Aegis, so they don't mind losing it here. They went all in, and yeah, Xingqiu gets this Wukong's command down, and these two poor old supports were caught in by the Sleep, the Vacuum, the Boundless. Not a chance there for Ollie or Q.
No, Jabs barely even gets away too. Lorinov.
He's BKBing. He really wants this kill. Can he get Xingqiu? He can.
But he might just die. Oh, we'll be able to jump away.
Just enough mana to escape. So he'll live.
They'll hold on for now. But the items just keep flowing in. An Octarine too for the puck. Freest game ever for this puck, feels. Yeah, XM just also. I free the team for all of them on this side.
0 deaths on him, 0 deaths on Arme. Yep. Just the one on XXS.
Octarine.
And other than that, you have 3 on both supports, so the support's tanking the hits very well on XGWBG this game.
And what's the next time? What are the next timings? Kingslayer is going for S and Y, but that does not feel like it's
not like
wow or anything. It's just like, okay, I can survive a little bit better, but the gold lead just massively growing and just rough for sure. All the rolls get popped and it just does next to nothing versus this Morphling who can just tank through it with insatiable hunger. And now, as you said, BKB on the Darkseer, all their orders at the ready. They're looking to go for this next big fight and potentially close this out.
I mean, I feel like if there's a look back and sort of say, hey, if we want to do this sort of strat sort of play style again on Aurora, what do we need to take away? I feel like the Darkseer is probably one of the main ones. Right? Just the fact that they had this hero XGWBG that was able to just farm this really quick pipe. You know, anyone that's able to sort of get the quick pipe, and I guess Darkseer out the offlaners, regardless of how the lane goes, he's one that's able to farm it the quickest and get it online that early. It just really messes with your approach and sort of where you want to play, right? When you're going for like these double Orchid heroes, Storm mid, that needs to be finding kills.
It probably just is like also they're scared of just this counter initiation draft, but at the same time too, they honestly, they just didn't really do much of anything. They kind of just, they tried one move, it didn't work, and then they just gave up on the moves. He's so tanky on this puck now, can just tank through these.
He's going to have to be BKB and run. Kingslayer's going to try and BKB and stand his ground. Now he's going to go for the TP out. They've got damage to take him down before, they haven't, so both will escape, but it's another BKB and TP from the two of them.
And with that call, could you look to just pressure onto one of these high grounds if they'd like to. Primal Split was also used, I believe, so they used double BKB and their Primal Split pre-fight.
I mean, this could be like one of the games that's won with like the lowest amount of kills on the winning team, at least in this tournament, right?
Probably.
It's getting to the point. XGWBG, they get their next round of items. They get a pretty much Satanic on Arme. They run down a lane, kill Aurora off once, and then
that's
end
probably the game. Yep, very likely, because it's just tough to see how Aurora can really progress too much more in this game unless they get some type of.
Are they going to be careful as well? Because
dream catch on high ground. Their BKBs are still down.
Yeah, 40 seconds still cooldown.
Arme with this fresh Satanic, yeah, they want to at least get a Brax advantage here, or, yeah, like you said, potentially close the game in that next fight.
Kiss is coming out. XM's going to try and jump in and see if we can find him. In fact, Xingqiu will with a Boundless Strike put a stop to the Kisses.
I like this Monkey King versus Snap quite a lot. It makes it like impossible for you to really play in the back lines.
They're losing their barracks.
They have no split. They have no BKBs. So they don't want to even attempt for a contest here. Kingslayer just farming on the side of the map because he knows if he shows up, he's just dead. I think we're going to see it. I want to see something completely different. Just different gameplay from Aurora. Like, I'm fine with the draft and everything.
Just get rid of all these heroes. Something completely. They need to distance themselves so much from this draft and from this game. Just don't play any of these heroes next game. Something completely different.
Just something, I think
they're going to want to, because I feel like this game's going to leave a bit of a bad taste in their mouth, right?
No.
This can't feel good to play out.
No.
I mean, play being a bit of a loose term, really, because, as you said, nothing's been done.
They got a
Not
kill.
getting to do much at all.
Their last kill was, yeah, about 16 minutes ago or so, I believe.
There we go, exciting stats there. One Brood Illusion did get fed this game. 5
Very
gold for
nice.
Crystal Maiden, that's profit.
How many spiders was it again? About 300? It was quite a bit of spiders.
Oh, that was, okay, I was confused then. I was like, hold on, they're on the same team, though, because of the Darkseer Wall Illusion of Brood.
Yes, yes.
You only get 5 gold for those. It's not much, is it?
No.
Is that all levels? This scale up?
I believe that's all levels, yeah.
5 gold. That's good hero, that Darkseer.
Definitely is. Auras are quite good right now. An early pipe is pretty phenomenal, especially when you can just sit back and farm with a stronger scaling core set.
Yeah, I mean, this game is Arme's dream.
He's literally just getting
kind
the
of wondering
creeps.
if he woke up this morning. He's like, I was dreaming about this last night.
Oh, and he has 550 CS, 560.
It's literally his dream game. He's just getting a hit creeps. Nothing bad's coming his way. And you're right, this has got to be one of the highest CS per minutes we've had.
It feels like it is. Besides one of these, maybe these illusion heroes,
Sure.
it's pretty absurd. He almost has 800 GPM. On to the next Rex.
On to the next game.
On to the next game, indeed. No BKB for the Brood. It's got a basher, but can't contribute into this fight. What a weird...
They've got the Hex.
Okay.
So as I said, this is their kind of one chance of maybe doing something crazy. If they can sort of trip up Arme with a Hex, maybe they kill him, maybe they start some sort of insane comeback.
Kingslayer spotted.
Yes.
Kingslayer's dead.
Oh, no buyback for him. 8 to 7, 35 minutes in. They're taking the base. They're taking a second set of racks here. XGWBG.
On to the next. Ame's just like, okay. Just keep hitting some buildings. Keep hitting some creeps.
He's like, is there any enemy in this game?
No.
He feels
Just,
like,
they can't do anything. Well,
oh, try. I mean, XM is saying they can't kill him. He's so tanky.
nope. He can kill them.
Or maybe they can kill him with the Hex. No, just kidding. He's got any on this. In fact, where he just put that together, right? He was holding it disassembled. He's ready to put it together, ready to jump away.
He's just messing with them. Ame's ending the game.
He's ending the game. I said they might. This might be one of the lowest kills for the per minute that you get in a game. They're mega creeped. It's literally just 8 to 7.
No way they
35
stay
minutes.
in this. Are they? They're not gonna. Okay, I mean they're not gonna call him. I guess maybe they're just discussing
as I
stuff.
said,
But
if
it's over.
somehow
No.
Arme loses this game,
No, there's no way.
there's literally
0%.
200% win percentage.
It does say
now.
200%
It says
actually.
200%.
I checked.
There ain't no way. This has been. He's got a butterfly as well now.
Butterfly, Gleipnir even on Jin Q. He's even scaled. Yeah, I mean this. Like I said, it's a disaster.
It really is.
So back to drawing board. Back to drawing board with gameplay. Just overall for Aurora, just something just did not go well, and something got to them. So, XGWBG, they got the dream, got to play their farm game to sit back. They'll be able to get another Roche and close this game up pretty much whenever they want and how they want. Oh! He almost dies. That was really sub 100
He didn't have
HP.
buyback gold either, did he? He did not have buyback gold. That would have been.
That would have been a perfect
way
ending.
to end this game.
Yes, that would have been the perfect ending.
It would have
for
been
this.
a very suitable ending for the game. Just dead to Tormented, no buyback.
What can you do? Jabs.
Look at the opening. Jabs has got any way to get the silence off. He does not.
Dead.
Okay. Well, at least the one thing we can promise you is the game 2 is going to be more exciting than this one. Now, there's no way we get 2 of these back to back. This is a pretty rare sort of anomaly of a game.
Mm-hmm.
At least, I mean, Aurora's definitely going to be hoping that's the case.
Absolutely. And here they go. Learn up.
BKB's pop. Oh, Arme. He's got the Aegis, though. He doesn't care. He's ready to tank all the spells here on the first round. He's going to be ready for round 2.
He's got BKB ready too. 2 seconds.
Here we go now. He's going to be ready to kill them all. Turns over towards Kingslayer. Kingslayer's going to try and get back towards the fountain. Will get glimmered up. Will survive. Arme turns towards Q instead. Takes out the Snapfire. Xingqiu's able to lay down the Wukong's command. Gets the Boundless Strike down to the Crystal Maiden. But inside the fountain, Ollie will regen up. He'll survive. Only Q going down here. Xingqiu, he's getting jumped, but he's got backup. He's going to get healed up. The Dreamcatcher's down. Loronoff's dead. No buyback on him. The tier 4s are falling.
Alme's ending.
He's ready to wait.
He's like, I hit my GPM points. Maybe I'll get 1 or 2 more kills. They'll finally call it.
Okay.
And he does get 1 more kill.
Well, that certainly was one of the Dota games of all time.